Before I say anything else, there is good guards in this country. There's guards that just want to serve the public, serve the people of Ireland, do their best to protect communities. And these guards, I have no bother with them. I know a few of them myself. They're just, guards that want to do their best and want to help protect the community. And I have no bother with them. But there's guards in this establishment still to this day. That are corrupt to the core. That take bribes and do the wrong thing, and not do the right thing. The scouts in this country still now, from what happened to Maurice McCabe, them sergeants and everything like that, what was happening in the Garda, we didn't hear half of what happened. And that's more or less what I'm trying to say. What happened with Maurice McCabe? Many people know that Tussle and the Guards state were basically wanted to smear Maurice McCabe, and still to this day, Maurice McCabe, he was suffering the effects from the media calling him this, that, and the other. And he cleared his name. Thankfully, he cleared his name. But this is what this happened so like if this is the first case, this is not the first case. There's many over the history this has happened to. The Guards have blamed them for wrongdoings. And again, we have to think about this. Imagine the amount of people that's been in prison for crimes they didn't commit just for the sake of just getting a conviction. Now, there is guards, we know, and one instance, for example, that springs to mind in Cavan, which I keep talking about, which I keep saying, hold on a second, I said it even in the video. A cow relating to the Kevin Lumley kidnapping, right? Listen to this. It accidentally was burned. This is what they say in the court. The gals just say, oh, it was accidentally burned. There was no way, the evidence was in the cow, we didn't know what was in it. It was accidentally burned. It was attempted murder and a kidnapping and a torture was accidentally burned. Because again, these people on the board are dangerous people. I'm not going to say they're not dangerous. They are very dangerous. They've threatened many county councillors. They've threatened many people. Anybody who speaks out, they've threatened them with acts of violence. I have threatened on Garda Síochána too. But yeah, the thing is, and the guards, should not fear. Like nowadays, the guards, when I was growing up, the guards didn't care less. They would have bet the shit out of anybody who came and questioned them. And that was probably the right way. The guards years ago were a lot more tough. I remember even the sergeant in Carlton, who's retired. He battered somebody with a fucking torch. He just literally battered them with a torch. Because they wouldn't get out of the premises, they were trespassing. He battered the fuck out of them with a torch. But that's back 15 years ago now. And he wasn't brought up or anything like that. And he was right, because they wouldn't leave the property, so he'd bet the shit out of them and do the left. And in the end of the day, he was right, because that taught them a lesson not to trespass again. But yeah, as I said about these Quinma gangs, the guards should not be afraid. The state and the law should not be afraid of these Quinma gangs, and Quinma gangs should not rule our streets. Simple as that, no matter who they are. And again, accidentally burned. That was what was said. It was accidentally burned. And I was the only one the media never asked. The media never went and asked. Northern Sound, the Anglo South, nobody asked any questions. Why? How did this happen? Is there any CCTV and is any witnesses saying how it caught on fire? Where's the fire report? Where's the fire officer report? All these questions still have to be raised, and I have asked about it. And have asked the fire inspector. And he said he said something about a technical wire now. And now I'm not saying he's wrong or anything that. I'm sure he's very, very qualified, know the man. But there could be something, again, the guards were very, very quiet about it when they were being asked about this. When I asked the Department of Justice for information, and I wasn't giving a response. The Department of Justice didn't listen to me. Again, I don't think it's anything to do with the fire service. I think it is to do with An Garda Síochána. Again, I have no evidence to back that. It could have been an accident. It could have been an accident, but it seems very suspicious. And the guards to say it was accidentally burned. Now, there is, like, in every, no matter what establishment you have, no matter if it's a GAA club, there's always one bad apple. There's always out of 100, 200, 300 in a county. Let's just take, for example, 300, 400 yards in the county. There's obviously going to be one or two bad apples. That will, smear obviously go, abuse the power, in other words. And we have to take them on. Now, there's some things the guards have done that obviously they're their right to do. And that's okay. But his questions have to be asked about some guards. Because, there is things, like, as we know with Maurice McCabe, you know, what happened there, we didn't hear the full story. I don't think we even will hear the full story again. But what happened with Maurice McCabe, you know, should never, I don't know, like, you know, I don't know what, you know, these sick people thought they were going to do to Maurice McCabe, smear his name, you know, just make, you know, like, you know, like there were sick people. So it was that these people who made up these accusations against Maurice McCabe, very, very sick people, wanted to smear a good man's name, a good sergeant's name, who wanted to expose the corruption on Garda Síochána. And you have to admire the person. You have to admire Maurice McCabe for taking, you know, he took a hard beating. He took a hard beating from the Guards and from the state. But at the end, he proved himself right. But at what cost? Really, at what cost? And that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Because again, the same with everything in corruption. No matter if it's any corruption anywhere, you know, the establishment, no matter if it's the state, no matter if it's a private company or whatever, they will always try and silence you. So I say to people, you know, always stand up. Always stand up. And this is the thing about this. It's always stand up against corruption, no matter if it's going to make you unpopular. Because at the end of the day, no matter if it's 100 years, no matter if it's 30 years, no matter if it's 10 hours, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, the truth will always come out. The truth will always come out. It might take a year, it might take 3 years, it might take 10 years. But at the end of the day, truth will come out. The truth will prevail. And justice will be solved. But yeah, that's what will happen. But it is hard to stand up and to say, yo, I disagree with this. I disagree with that. This is happening. It's very difficult. It takes courage. It takes something in you that it has to. It takes a lot of energy out of you. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying to people, you know, never to be afraid to stand up. Never be afraid to say, you know, this is going on. It should be looked into. You know, at least say that if something happens. Because, you know, again, this thing years ago, what was happening years ago, get up and get on with it. You know, again, you can't get up and get on with it when people are wrongly accused of some things. And when things like this happen, because God knows how many times that could have happened to an innocent man and still could be in prison, or innocent woman and still could be in prison. But again, take care everybody and bye.